So we're really going to talk quick about the grip, the basics of the grip. So comfortably holding the ball, what we want to see is whether you have 1 or 2 fingers on the laces. That's kind of a personal choice. In Elijah's case, he likes 2. But one of the keys that we want to see is that we've got an air pocket between the palm and the ball. You should be able to see air through there. What we don't want to see is, go ahead and palm the ball, Elijah. We don't want to see that. You wouldn't throw a tennis ball with it or a baseball with it locked into your palm. It's the same thing in football. You want it out into the fingers so that you've got a little bit of daylight that you can see through underneath the ball.
Right underneath, right through there.
And what that does is that frees and releases your wrist so that you can engage your wrist in the throw. So why don't you go ahead and talk about your pre-pass position, where the ball should be, and maybe the tilt angle. Talk a little bit about that.
In your pre-pass, you want to have, well, if you're right-handed, the ball will be about chest level, sandwiched just a little bit over to the right pec. If you're left-handed, it's the opposite, just on the left pec. So you'd switch grips as well for your left hand. Yeah, so just to the right pec.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about the J stroke that Will professes in his teaching, and how you come from base to get the ball back into the back position.
Okay, so the J stroke is essentially what happens when you are right about to release the ball, or when you're about to start your throwing motion. So essentially, you push back with your left hand, which essentially creates a straight line that way from right here to here, and then you come up into a J. So it's kind of like a J right here.
Perfect. What do we not want to see on that J stroke?
With the J stroke, you want to keep it on an even horizontal axis. You don't want to dip down, as that you could even drop the ball, but it also just wastes time and energy. If you keep it up here, you get right into your throwing motion right away, as opposed to coming down, winding up, and then trying to catch up with your arm to the rest of your body.
It adds a lot of time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So let's also talk for a second about sequencing. Okay, so sequencing in terms of from the ground up. So as you load the ball into the back position, where do you want to have your weight, and how does that weight transfer happen through the throw?
Okay, so your weight, you start with about 70% on your back foot, and as you start that pushing back motion, your foot strikes forward, that 6-inch step that we talked about. And essentially, there's no weight on it yet. But when your weight actually shifts is when you start to come up like this, and then all your weight starts moving forward, which creates power in your arm and velocity in your arm. And it sends the ball farther and farther, opposed to coming right off the start and then having all your momentum just stopped.
And what do we want to see in terms of that weight distribution? If you were to put a number on it, percentage-wise, on your back foot versus your front, as you're coming through that load position, let's say as you get to 0, where's the weight, approximately, in terms of percentage back to front?
At the start,
take a guess.
At the start, it's 70% on your back,
Yeah.
and then a bit on your front.
And as
Stay
you come to
balanced.
0,
And as you come into 0, like right here, it would be about 50-50.
okay.
And then as you get farther, it turns into 70% on the front, like 30% on the back. And then as I'm releasing, it's almost all on my front foot, but with a bit back there still, so that I can stabilize myself and keep my spine directly vertical, not tilting forwards or backwards.
And I think what we want to see on that back foot in terms of weight distribution is that we'd like to see that big toe is still in the ground as you release the football. So we don't want to see all of that weight gone and the ball still in your hand. That toe should still be connected as the ball is coming out of your hand.
Yeah.
That's about it, eh?